I'm James Kirk.
I'm Michi Hoyer,
And you're watching simnews.tv.
Hello. Thanks for having us, I suppose. Even though it's my choice.
And so Mike very helpfully joining us on commentary as well as on the camera. Speaking to Mike, we jump on board Kirill Burakov about to start his qualifying lap. He do join us in the middle of qualifying. Burakov down in towards Tarzan Bocht and out of it. The first turn, nice hairpin, good place for an overtake, and then in through the Gerlach Bocht section. And then around the hairpin of Hugenholz, and then up the long straight, going over the crest to the right, to the left, back to the right again. Very easy to lose it on these curbs. You need to run right up close to them as Burakov dips a wheel on the way into Shevlak. And then on the way out through this slight left, and then over the hill down into Masters, which is probably the most difficult corner on this track. Through turn 9, and through turn 10. Nice couple of switchback sections, and then onto the back straight down towards Hans Ernst, which is a very tight right-hander leading into a long 180 left. Very technical section this, very easy to just go in a bit too deep and end up on those rumble strips, but Burakov nails it. And then now out on the way down to Kumo, just a nice right, get all the way on the power, and then a long flat-out right-hander to end the lap. Kirill Burakov comes out of the final turn. And across the line, Burakov goes pole with a 13.351. As I alluded to, we are in fact in the qualifying session. 1 out lap, 1 flying lap, 1 in lap. So that's Birakov on provisional pole as it stands. Yuri Kazdorp's going to be lining up alongside him ahead of Jerne Simoncic. Vlad Pokarev and Chris Shepard rounding out the top 5 ahead of Kostas Galanamatis, Eros Maskouli and Vladislav Pavlov rounding out the rear of the grid as it stands. We have Germano Zappola currently out on track on a flying lap on the run down towards Hans Ernst. And as we can see, he is currently on a decent lap actually. He could challenge for the top 2 or 3 positions on the grid. The bit hesitant on the power, which could cost him through the second to last corner, and runs out wide. That's very wide. That's going to cost him. And Germano Zappola, that's going to be his session and his lap over. He's going to be starting from the back of the grid. Although he is going to limp it to the end of the lap to get a completed flying lap in. So he's got a time on the board. And Zapala crosses the line, and he goes 9th on a 24.9. Stefan Ruol also out on track, but he's on his outlap. So while he is on his outlap, let's go over the format for tonight. We have this 1 lap shootout Super Pole qualifying, and leading into 3 10-lap races, all of which running in an elimination format, where if there was a full grid of 30 cars, there would be 30 starters, and they would run for 2 laps. And then on lap 3, the slowest 5 will be eliminated. Same on lap 4. And then from lap 5 to lap 8, the slowest 4 drivers each lap will be getting eliminated. So we're down to the final 4, and it's a 2-lap shootout, and first across the line wins. So plenty of strategy to be involved, and we've seen a lot of drivers like to hang back a bit. But for guys like Zapala and guys like Michi Hoyer, who are currently on the grid, not necessarily too bad of an idea. You know, they can play the long game, play to stay out of trouble and just get to the end, but they might not be able to win it from back there unless they start pulling off some mad overtakes on track. As Ruol currently on his flying lap. How's he doing? Let's have a look. 32.9 in the first sector, so that's a bit off the pace from Stefan. So it's looking like he's going to be lining up towards the back of the pack. Through sector 2 any moment now. 19.5 again. See, I think Ruol's just he's just going to get the lap time in, playing for the race. As me and Tom named it previously, the Siebel strategy, due to its effective use from Alex Siebel at Silverstone. Ruol across the line, 4.9, so he's going to go 10th. Speaking of Siebel, he's now out on track. So, Mike, we've heard from myself and we've heard from Tom in previous broadcasts. If you were in this position, well, how would you tackle this race?
I'm very much an advocate of all or nothing kind of guy. So it's get it on pole. You're not going to win the race unless you're up that front end anyway. Even if you take the Siebel strategy, he's not winning races. He's looking alright for the championship, sure, but where's the glory in that?
Indeed, there's I don't know. The championship is arguably more.
Well, he's still not top of the championship, is he, at the moment? So
that's true. That honor goes to Jerne Simoncic, who is in 3rd, with the round from last weekend that Zandvoort wiped. So this is basically a rerun of last weekend, but this is the real deal now, as you say, as Alex Siebel, who is very much one of the real deals in sim racing. He's on his way down in towards Tarzan on his flying lap. Let's have a look at how he goes. Holds it in nice. Tarzan's a weird one. You don't want to touch the inside curb or it will throw you way out, but it's such beautiful camber that you can't help but be drawn into it. And now through on the way up onto that long back straight. Let's say this is very much a preview, I think, of 2020 when the Formula 1 is actually going to be heading to Zandvoort, which is going to be very interesting. You can see even with these cars, these are the Marussia Formula 1 cars of, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 2012 or 2014, something like that.
12, so, I think they are.
2012. So cars are a lot faster in the modern age, and even these cars are doing this lap comfortably in 1:13s for some of the top sim racers in the world. Siebel, 32.4 in the first sector, 19 flat in the second sector. He's about 2 tenths down on Birakov. as it stands, so a good sector 3 could see Siebel on the front row. It's a bit squirmy, but round the final turn, keeps it nice and tight. Alex Siebel to the line, and he goes only 5th. So slight mistake in the third sector we are seeing on the times, but that's, you know, Alex Siebel. He's one of the he's a championship reigning champion in the GPWC Super League. Only 5th on this grid as it stands, but a very smart racer. I'm sure he'll be looking to be one of the final 4, regardless of where he is on track. Another driver out there at the moment, Maciek Mlinek.
Yeah, he's a bit squiggly.
Not had such a hot first sector, but I think again he's just going around to get the lap in. We do have our remaining 3 drivers all on track, setting times. We have Mlinek in the final turn. We have Dennis Jordan just coming out of I think that's site of Masters, and Jeroen Kweekel on his way up the top of the circuit. So Mlinek first, and he's going to abandon this lap.
That's an interesting call.
Yeah, he's saying, you know, I'm going to start at the back of the grid.
Well, he's not really. He gets a flying lap.
But
so
yeah, but if he doesn't do a time, then he's gonna, you know, he's not gonna register, so he's gonna start last.
Yeah.
Anyway, next across the line, Dennis Jordan. He's done a 32.4 sector 1 and an 18.9 middle sector, same as Kweekel. So both drivers currently on track could be in play for a top 5. This depends on their final sector. Jordan across the line goes 4th. How does Kweekel do? Comes out the final turn, a little bit wider using some of that exit curb. Jeroen Kweekel across the line goes 3rd. So Kweekel 3rd, Jordan 5th, right at the death. That's going to be our qualifying over, and Kirill Birakov is going to take pole position ahead of Yuri Kansdorp, the Rfactor 2 reigning champion. Jeroen Kweekel in 3rd ahead of Simoncic. And we have Jordan, Vlad Tokarev, Alex Siebel, Chris Shepard, Kostas Galanamatis, Eros Masculi, Vladislav Pavlov, Michi Hoyer, Stefan Ruol, Yermano Zappala, and Maciek Mlinek going to be rounding out your 15 starters for race 1 by the looks of it. So slightly a depleted grid, but it's nonetheless, it's not depleted in quality at all. You can see the names that are up there. So Mike, any predictions for this race?
Well,
You're right in it.
wow. I don't think you can predict this though, really. I mean, we've seen so many people just, you know, leading the race, all in the podium positions, all being knocked out nearly every round. So, you know, you can look quite the way down to, particularly when it's a slightly shorter grid than first imagined. I suppose it means they can take it a little easier to start with. So don't discount certain people, even as low as people like we've seen Masculi in 10th getting his way up there as well quite regularly enough now. I'm quite Tokarev in 6th is a very good position for him. In fact, doing the same time as Jordan, or just no? Rfactor's rounded that up, hasn't it, slightly? Yeah. Yeah. So
couldn't be much closer if they tried.
Crazy. I'd like to think Birakov would get there. He's doing, you know, he's got the pace. He's always putting it top of the timesheets at the moment. It's just whether or not he can do it lap after lap after lap. Because some of these guys, your Simoncic's, your Jordans, your Siebels, your Shepards, these sort of guys, Masculi's are, you know, 6-7 laps in, are pounding in those crazy lap times. But anyone can get knocked out. It's such a surprise.
Ooh.
That's a shocker, but it's not necessarily going to be the race, because the warm-up, the start of the race takes the weather and all that sort of stuff from the end of qualifying, so doesn't necessarily mean this.
What Mike is alluding to is we've moved into warm-up and we have rain, so this is going to be a bit of a turn up for the books. Wet weather is going to be playing havoc, obviously, with these eliminations, as those who hang back are going to potentially be having a wetter track to contend with by the time they're on their flying lap. But due to the reduced grid we have today, we aren't going to be seeing any eliminations until lap 6. So drivers need to be on their toes a bit, as we saw from the aborted running of the event last week. several drivers potentially weren't aware that there were actually eliminations as early as there were, and it did catch people out in all 3 races, the first round of eliminations.
Yeah, we could see some interesting. If it does rain, of course, you get an awful lot of different. We've seen tyre choices galore because it is only 10 laps. You can kind of get away with it if you take a wrong tyre choice as well. So that's always interesting.
Well, we saw in Silverstone, Yuri Kasdorp was the man on the wrong tyre. He picked the slick tyre when the entirety of the rest of the grid were on wets or intermediates. And he made it through so long that it was almost a dry line by the time he got eliminated, just because he drove to the conditions, whereas other people were driving as fast as they could and making mistakes and having small spins and things like that, just in the conditions. So there's potentially, with a safety net for the first 5 laps, we could see a couple of these drivers go onto a slick tyre, or at least an intermediate tyre, in just the hopes that it dries up a bit, because the wet tyre has a limited range where it's actually faster, and then if it goes below that, the intermediate tyre is going to be taking seconds a lap out of it. And then obviously if it gets fully dry, like a full dry line, the slick tyre is going to be absolutely mincing it as well. So it's very much a risk-reward thing.
Yeah, they may have to factor in the fact we've got less cars on the grid than sometimes, so it won't dry up as quickly as well. Yeah.
We're going to be running through this warm-up session. Drivers there out in a nice little pack. There's Michi Hoyer, Vladislav Pavlov, and I believe that's Jerome Kuikel, all running together, just getting some experience in these wet conditions. See there, Hoyer leading the pack, but having to be so tentative around the top end of the circuit. G-Vlak's a tough corner in the dry anyway. These cars with a lot of downforce, but with the back end how it is, could snap out on them. But then full wet conditions might make that even more tricky.
While we've got a minute, by the way, I'm going to very quickly try and do a few settings changes, if that's alright with everybody. Try and get you a bit of a smoother broadcast ahead of the round race 1 in a minute. Won't be 1 second, everybody.